For more on the rising insecurity across the country and the concerns of the United Kingdom Parliament, well, let's bring in a public affairs analyst, Olabode Oseni, who joins us live via Zoom from the United Kingdom. Thank you for joining us on TVC News at 7. Well, what exactly do you think should be the United Kingdom's interests in Nigeria, considering the country itself has its own political and even security issues?
Thank you very much for having me. Obviously, the main interest of any country should be how much they can put into providing security for their citizens. And that's exactly what a country like United Kingdom, America, Canada, and some other civilized countries are doing. Because the side effect of allowing a breakdown in insecurity of any developing countries could mean a lot of it could be catastrophic to them. It could affect their own economy, it could affect their social structure and so many things, because not many countries can afford to take in influx of displaced people, because what you're going to find out is if anything goes wrong today, you will see that the large number of people who will be running away from problem. A good example is people from Nigeria who want to go anywhere to find safety. So their main interest is based on like finding a situation that such a situation does not occur.
All right, we know that Nigeria is a former colony of the United Kingdom, and what the lawmakers in this debate are trying to do is first to understand the situation in Nigeria and then subsequently look for a way of providing assistance. We know that this relationship between the UK and Nigeria dates back well over 60 years. So how would you react to the kind of support that the UK government has been giving Nigeria over time?
Well, you see, thank you very much for that question. There are two things here. It's one thing to appreciate what you are giving. It's also, and make good use of it. It's also another thing to know what to do. If you are giving a brand, if you are giving a device, let's take example of mobile phone, but you have no knowledge of how to use it. It's in your hand, it will probably not immediately become useless or not useful to you, but you'll be thinking of what to do about it. You're probably going to start finding a way of learning how to use it. And so most of the help that have been coming in to Nigerian government have always been either misused or abused. And like we always say, most of the time, the problem of corruption is the biggest problem we have. So before, it used to be a large amount of aids from developed countries to this developing country, which we still believe, unfortunately, Nigeria is still one of them. I don't see us developing yet. So again, we have always taken the money and then kept it among some few of Nigerian politicians. And that is a very sad story to tell anybody.
So how do you suppose we can better manage this fund such that they don't end up, as you've said, in the hands of a few people?
It's another very good question. If I say I don't know the answer to that, I'll be lying to you. We will need to go back to basics. We will need to sit down and deal exactly and decisively with the problem of corruption. And how do you do that? This country is not different from Nigeria and some other countries. What they do here is they make sure they put the legislators, the applicator, the executive, judiciary, these are the three main arms of governance anywhere in the whole world. So what they do is to clearly separate these powers and make sure that laws, rules, and regulations are in place. The executive is tied, they cannot do otherwise but to operate on those laws, rules, and regulations. And then the judiciary is always there to if there's any misunderstanding or whatever, they can abrogate. So the point I'm making here is we are not doing what we're supposed to be doing. And that is also a very sad note for anybody to look at. Because if there's no corruption in place, oh yes, some people will say there's corruption in Germany, in America, and so on and so forth. That can be true. But the truth of the matter is is so managed. It's just like poverty. Poverty is everywhere in the whole world. But what they do in Europe and other places is they manage it, they cover it, they mask it, they don't let you see it. But in Nigeria, corruption is so endemic, it is so open. You see people who have not worked for anything, riding high, living above their means, and also the legislators. The question is, they go home with millions of naira every month, and then the ordinary workers in Nigeria are even struggling to get paid on 18 or 30,000 naira. These are the things that we need to do. So to get the support of Western Europe is not a problem. To develop is not a problem. Until when we have changed our attitude, our behavior towards good governance, but it looks like we don't want any good governance, because an average Nigerian believes that the connection he has with TVC, he has with the chairman of TVC, he has with you and I or whatever, we only take it. He doesn't care about any other person. But you see, but unfortunately the system needs to be reviewed. We need to go back to drawing board and apply rule of law. That is the trick here. There's no other way.
I'm sure you have made your point. And as it is, corruption, insecurity are some of the mantra on which this administration is hinged. It were some of the issues that were really harped on in the course of the campaign process. Olabode Oseni is a public affairs analyst. Thank you for joining us on TVC News at 7.
Thank you very much for having me.